All right, welcome future coding directors. Today, you're not just learning to code, you're stepping into the director's chair. We're going to script, cast, and produce your very first Java Blockbuster application. So grab your popcorn because this is going to be an epic premiere. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? I want you to think of Java less like a boring old programming language and more like your complete Hollywood studio toolkit for bringing any digital story you can imagine to life. Every great movie starts with a solid script, right? Of course. Well, in the world of Java, our script is all about the fundamentals. This is where we write the dialogue, set the scenes, and introduce our main characters. Let's get started. So first up, let's meet our actors, variables. And a really fun way to think about them is like popcorn buckets. Yeah, seriously. Each bucket has a name and is designed to hold a specific type of thing. One for numbers, another for some text, and maybe one for a simple yes or no. So you can see right here in our script, we can create an integer bucket, or int, called ticket count, and put the number 5 in it. For our movie's title, we use a string bucket called movie name, and to track if it's in 3D, a Boolean bucket named is3dmovie holds true. It's super simple and keeps everything nice and organized. And, the process is pretty much always the same. First, you declare that your bucket exists, you give it a type and a name, then you assign a value to it, you fill it up, and finally, you can use that value later in your program. It's a really clear sequence, right? Just like a scene in a movie. Okay, every good movie needs plot twists, right? That's where conditionals come in. Think of an if-else statement as the director making a decision. It's basically a choose-your-own-adventure for your code. If one thing is true, the story goes one way. If not, it takes a totally different path. So you can see here, the program basically asks a question. For example, is the moviegoer 13 or older? If the answer is yes, great, they get to see the action-packed superhero movie. If the answer is no, they get directed to see the fun cartoon instead. And that's how your app can adapt and respond to different situations. You know how in movies, they sometimes have to shoot a scene over and over to get it right? That's exactly what loops are for in programming. They are your secret weapon for repeating actions without having to rewrite the same code again and again. Need to print out 100 movie tickets? A loop is absolutely your best friend here. All right, script basics are down. Now it's time to move into pre-production. This is where we get to build the entire world of our movie, the sets, the props, you name it. And we're going to do it using the incredible power of object-oriented programming. So this is a big one. What's the real difference between a class and an object? Well, think of a class as the architect's blueprint for, say, a movie theater. It defines everything a theater should have: screens, seats, a snack bar. An object, on the other hand, is the actual physical theater you build from that blueprint, like the one right there on Main Street. And here we have it, the actual blueprint for any movie. This movie class says that every single movie we create is going to have a title and a duration. It also has an action it can perform, what we call a method, like play. This is the template we'll use over and over to create all the specific movies for our app. Okay, so what if you want to release a special deluxe 3D version of your movie? Well, you don't start from scratch. That's where inheritance comes in. It's this amazing feature that lets you take an existing blueprint, like our movie class, and just add new, exciting features to it. It's kind of like building a sequel or expanding your movie franchise. And the magic keyword that makes this all happen? It extends. That one little word tells Java that our new deluxe movie is a special kind of movie. It just automatically gets all the stuff from the original movie, like the title and duration, and then we can pile on new features, like a Boolean for is3D and a new method to show it in 3D. Okay, our film is shot, but we're not done. It's time for post-production. This is where we add all the cool special effects, those advanced Java features that will make our application feel polished, professional, and really stand out. This is a question every director has to think about. In the world of programming, unexpected things happen all the time. A network connection might drop, a file could be missing. So what do you do to make sure the whole show doesn't just crash and burn? Simple. You call in the stunt crew. In Java, that's called exception handling. Using something called a try-catch block is basically your safety net. It lets you try a piece of code that might be risky, and if something goes wrong, you catch the error and handle it gracefully without the entire program crashing. So look at this. We're trying to do something that's literally impossible. Divide a number by 0. Normally, this would bring your program to a screeching halt, but because we wrapped it in a try block, the error gets caught, and our catch block steps in to print a nice friendly message instead. And just like that, the show goes on.
All right, now for a really cool modern editing tool, Java Streams. I want you to imagine all your movie data, let's say audience ratings, just flowing along on a conveyor belt. Streams let you perform a whole series of operations on that data, one after another, in a super clean and efficient way.
And just check this out. In a single, clean line of code, we can take a whole bunch of readings, put them on that conveyor belt, filter out everything that isn't 4 stars or higher, and then count what's left. I mean, how cool is that? It's super powerful, and it's actually easy to read. And cut. That is a wrap, people. From the very first line of our script to the final polished special effects, you've now seen the entire production process of a Java application. The credits are officially ready to roll. So let's do a quick recap of your new Director's Toolkit. We've got variables to act as our props and characters. We've got conditionals to create our plot choices. We've used classes as blueprints, built franchises with inheritance, saved the day with exceptions, and edited everything together with streams. You are fully equipped to make some movie magic. So the big question, the final question, that's for you. You're the director now. You have the camera, you have the script, you have the crew. The power is totally in your hands. What incredible story, what blockbuster application will you bring to the world first? So, lights, camera, code.